focus on me? Baby, can you focus on me?
You have survived every single thing you thought you wouldn't. Remember that. What if I told you that the hardest moments of your life were not happening to break you, but they were actually happening to build you? The way you see your situation always determines the way you move forward. Let's talk about how shifting your perspective will change your whole life. And before we get started, I want to say to you, you're not looking at a person that's never been through anything. I'm not talking to you as a person that's never had to deal with abandonment, never had to deal with heartbreak, never had to deal with losing others, never had to deal with the ups and downs of life. Look back over my life, I realized that everything I experienced, every tear, every fear, every up, every down, that it made me the woman that I am today. Something I thought about the other day when I was reflecting over my life, I said to myself, I said, you have survived every single thing you thought you wouldn't. Remember that. And so when I sat with myself and I realized that it wasn't for nothing, every tear that I have cried, it created something greater in me. So you may be watching this video and you're probably like, but you don't understand, but you don't get it. And I do get it. I do understand. And the fact that you're here today, the fact that you have not given up, the fact that you even took time to take some time out of your life and to look at this video just to say, you know what, let me look at it. Let me look at that at a different perspective. It tells me that you're supposed to be here. It tells me that you are not gonna give up without a fight. It tells me that you're not easily broken, you know? It tells me that in the midst of everything you have experienced, you are willing to keep showing up, keep being seen, keep being heard. You're growing, you're wiser, you're stronger, you're better for it. The truth is that life really isn't about what happens to us. It's how we see it. It's how we view it. It's how we respond. Let's talk about how I decided to shift my mindset in spite of everything I've been through. The truth of the matter is that two people could be going through the same struggle. One person is gonna look at that struggle as a lesson, and the other person may look at that same struggle as a curse. When you think about your life and what you've experienced, do you look at your ups and downs as curses, or do you look at them as lessons? As women, we can carry so much. Sometimes the weight is tied into how we're looking at the situation and not necessarily the situation. Your hardest seasons sometimes can be the most beautiful transformations in your life. Your perspective is your key to peace. I had to change my perspective. I had to change the conversations, the inner conversations, the outer conversations. I had to look at things with a different lens, because if I did not look at it in a different way, in a different perspective, if I did not shift my mindset, I would be stuck. I would not be able to grow. I wouldn't be able to heal. If you are on a self-love journey and you're looking to reclaim your life, check out the link in the description box and you can get a copy of my newest ebook. It's called Reclaiming Your Glow. So check it out. The heartache, the loss, the disappointments, they did not happen to hurt you. They happened to redirect you. The woman that you're becoming, she had to go through certain things to gain the wisdom, to understand how not to do somebody, and what to learn from that heartache. Something I started doing years ago is I stopped looking at things from a victim mindset. I stopped looking at things like, why is this happening to me? I stopped doing that. I started asking asking God, what is this teaching me? What did I have to learn from this? When I lost my friend, I was heartbroken. I was really messed up behind that because I didn't see it coming. But instead of being angry, instead of fighting and arguing and going back and forth, I asked God, I said, what lesson did you need to teach me from that? And God answered. This is how you're gonna shift your perspective, okay? You're going to stop asking yourself, why is this happening to me? Instead, you're going to ask yourself, what lesson am I learning from this experience? Then you're going to start journaling. I know a lot of people don't like to journal, but please like challenge yourself to take 5 to 10 minutes. Honestly, 15 minutes. That's what I will say. Take 15 minutes and really sit with yourself and start figuring out what you experienced in your life and tell me the lesson you learned from that thing. I had abandonment issues from my parents. So a lot of times I would find myself in friendships and situations where I would stay longer than I needed to, even when those people were not good for me. So I had to really sit with myself and ask myself, what is it about you that you feel like you're not worth the extra effort? What is it about you that you keep dealing with people that do not have your best interest at heart? And I kept going back to the root of it. The root of it was abandonment. The root of it was the pain, that perspective or that feeling of, oh, everybody else is gonna leave, or people, when they do stay, you gotta just take and settle for whatever they give. Once I changed my perspective, I was open to better friendships. I was open to better relationships. I was open to better opportunities because I realized my worth. I realized that even though I grew up around things that were not the healthiest, it didn't have to be my constant reality. I had the power to change my perspective and change my situation. So when you look over your life, when you journal, think about that. What lessons did you learn from these things and how are you gonna change it? What I want you to do is I want you to remind yourself daily that you have survived everything that you thought you wouldn't. You're still here. You're worthy of love. You're worthy to be seen. You're worthy to be heard of. You're worth people going the extra mile for you, okay? And if you don't see that as that's not your reality, change your perspective. Shift your mindset. Change your situation by first acknowledging what you don't want and do everything that you do want. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you are on a self-love journey and you want to reclaim your glow, I have a really good ebook that I would love you to check out. Check out the link in the description box, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.
Lately I've been with it, wish you would just focus on me.